I will monitor the chat during the session, and we will be taking questions and answers at the end of the presentation. First, let me tell you about your presenters today, and we have 5. So first we have Mary Fiadessa. Mary is from Ghana. Hi, Mary. Mary has been part of the Theodora Africa program from the beginning and has done several presentations to groups and clubs to date. She's currently the business development manager for TGVA. And when you see TGVA on the screen, that stands for Theodora Ghana Virtual Assistants. And she's bringing in new business and managing other members of the team as well. Next, we have Anastasia Omari. Anastasia is from Ghana. Anastasia has been part of the Theodora Africa group since 2021, and she's part of the second recruitment to the program. Anastasia assists clients with their administrative tasks, does professional networking and business development. Next, we have Mary Mensah. Hello, Mary. Mary is also from Ghana. Mary is part of the Theodora Africa second team, which she joined in 2021. Mary manages clients' social media and is a part of the business development team as well. Next, we have Benedicta Badabi, and Benedicta is from Ghana. Hi, Benedicta. Benedicta joined Theodora Africa also in 2021. Today, she assists clients with their administrative tasks by serving as a secretary, accountability partner to them as well. She does professional networking and is also part of the business development team. And last but not least, we have Gifty Amoako. Amawaku, almost got it that time. Amawaku. Gifty is also from Ghana. Gifty was part of the first recruitment to Theodora Africa program, which started in 2019. Gifty is currently working as the operations manager, putting systems in place and making sure people are on track. Thank you for attending our session today. And now I'd like to turn the presentation over to Mary Fiadessa. Take it away, Mary.
Thank you, Nancy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the call today. My name is Mary Fiadessa from Accra, Ghana, and I'm here with my team to present to you about a unique social impact program that uses technology and the power of business to transform the lives of trafficked women. Please meet the team. Due to many underlying causes, young people in Africa end up doing sex work, scamming, stealing, and several things just for survival. Anastasia, please tell everyone about your experience before you were introduced to Theodora.
Thank you, Mary. My childhood wasn't a rosy one. I was 5 years old when my parents got divorced, and at 8 years old, I lived as a maid for 10 years. Due to family apart, I become homeless without a place to stay, or food or clothing. I lived from one person's place to another. That made me relocated back to Ghana because of poverty and wanting to better my life. I looked for jobs despite not finishing school or having a certificate because I wanted to do something for myself, but to no avail because in every job I tried to get or look for, I was forced to sleep with who the superior of that organization was. Before I could get a job, and most of the times they ended up not giving me the job. I was frustrated. I thought of ending things all. I thought of taking my life. I was depressed because I was not having money, shelter, or even clothes to sustain me. I met a friend who introduced me into sex work and also pole dancing. I wasn't proud of what I was doing because so many people I knew then actually died, and that was the only way I could survive. This was a risky job back then I was doing, and this was my life before Theodora. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. But Theodora changes the dynamic and provide a solution to this problem, creating opportunities for these women. How do we do that? We find markets for outsourced services in the United States that are underserved. This means we know exactly where to sell our services, even before training the first person that we want to transform. And having these jobs available and the ability to start the work right away is truly transformational. Benedicta, please tell us how you felt when you first stepped into Theodora.
Thank you, Mary. The first time I heard about the Theodora program was from a friend. I did not believe it because I had never seen or heard of a program that was that good. It was too good to be true. My first thought was that there could not be such an opportunity. Life has made me skeptical about things like that. Even stepping into the building, I still did not believe it. Only when I was holding my first paycheck did I think, this is real. I was shocked and still disbelieving. There I was in training and being paid to be trained. I could feed myself and pay for my transportation to and from work. I felt alive and excited to be there. And for the first time in a long time, I had hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Benedicta. We provide services that are in high demand to a set of clients that have difficulty affording these services at the American wages. Gifty is here and she will tell us where we are as a business today.
So we are working for business that create AI avatar, a consulting company, a company that does solar panel, a housing business, an accounting business, and many more. Before we started working for this business, they were feeling overwhelmed by not having their business live. Their business were not seen and also not being organized. We have VAs that do newsletters, social media posting, research, and VAs that even serve as personal assistants and secretary to these companies. So we are here. We are in business, transforming women by training these women to become a professional administrative assistant while helping the growth of the youth of the growth of business life. We are on the road becoming business owners and growing the business to become profitable enterprise to be able to train more women like myself and help small businesses.
Thank you, Gifty. Kindly mute for me. So this is the profile of our ideal clients. We work with nonprofit organizations, individual professionals with no administrative staff. Most of these people come to us feeling overwhelmed, frustrated about things that they need to get done, but usually don't get the time to do. These are the kind of people we serve. And you can help us at the same time you help yourself. Benedicta, kindly tell us how we are making our clients more productive and reducing stress.
Once again, thank you, Mary. That is mostly done through tax management and accountability. As a tax manager or an accountability person, the duty are mostly of that of a secretary. Tax management is mostly the act of keeping clients who are mostly overwhelmed on track with their work and personal life. That is done by a daily reminder of tasks to be worked on to avoid getting overwhelmed with work. That needs to be done for, excuse me, that is done by daily task reminder of what needs to be done first without missing out on the most critical tasks at that time. That helps in keeping track of the things you need to do so as they do not fall through cracks and reduce stress and be more productive. Thank you.
Thank you, Benedicta. And Mary Mensa is here. She does most of our e-marketing stuff, and she will tell us how this e-marketing service help our clients.
Thank you, Mary. With e-marketing, we have two major services that we offer. They are newsletters and social media management. Newsletter is periodically sent email that informs your audience of the latest news or updates relating to your products or services. Social media. Years back, we only advertised through billboards, magazines, and television ads. With social media, you have the ability to bring your contact to your customers, partners, and prospects, posting their products and exchanging information and ideas. Most of the clients love to be known, but don't have the time to create graphics and post. In Theodora Africa, we help clients free up 5 to 6 hours a week by creating graphics and posting on their social media. With this, clients use this free up time to focus on other things to grow their company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Anastasia has done several research tasks for our clients. Please tell us about this service.
Thank you once again, Mary. Most of our clients come to us feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, and with finding the information they need, such as travels, businesses, cultures, competitive analysis, events, conferences, speaking opportunities, etc. For instance, I am currently working on a research about climate change founders. This required me to find CEOs' emails, website links, LinkedIn links, and their contact information. This service helps save time and energy of our clients so that they can do other important activities and get the vital information they need. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. So most of our clients come to us feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, always confused, and yet they know they need help, but they don't know exactly what someone could assist them with. That is when we take them through our core process. So this core process help us to understand their business, their day-to-day activities, and identify what we can do to help them. And with the help of our process documentation ability, we document all these logical steps taken to perform these tasks. We put them into a flow chart that makes it easier to follow. And with that, we make sure we have a defined scope of work before doing the actual work. We are not perfect yet. We are still work in progress. Gifty, please tell everyone about how far we've come.
As an operation manager, we are constantly working to improve. We may never get there yet because we are never perfect, but we have put in place some systems that help us to ensure we are doing the right thing and also delivering quality work. We have our daily huddle. That's the VAs update their daily or weekly tasks on Microsoft Teams for it to be followed and known everyone's schedules. This system helps us to make sure that VAs are not overlapped with work. We also have the tax law sheet, and this system is put in place for every VA to put up their tax and meeting with a client with a start date, due date, and their supervisor will approve before the work is sent out to any client.
Thank you, Gifty. So currently we are in phase 2, and where we hope to be in the future, since we are now developing systems to support growth, as Gifty explained some of the systems we have. We are currently hoping that by the close of 2023, we will finish with phase 2, which is developing the systems, and then be in the position to be adding more people and really testing our ability to grow. There are about 25 million businesses with no employees, according to the 2020 census in the United States. And if a typical Theodora participant can handle about 5 clients, imagine if we have 1,000 women working in Theodora and we are handling 5,000 people or clients from the United States. We wouldn't even have a measurable market share. This is where we hope to be in the future. So you may ask how you can support us. You can become a client and help yourself. If you find yourself in any of these situations mentioned above, like our clients, you can actually become a client, which is really affordable. And we are happy to take your donation. We are still growing and we need more help, more assistance. So we would gladly take your donation. We have volunteers as well. If you have any special skills that can be beneficial to us, we will gladly accept you as a volunteer. And you can also refer a client. If you see anybody or hear that someone is in frustration, overwhelmed because they are not getting their task done, you can refer them to us. And by so doing, you are promoting social impact. You're actually helping transform the lives of African women to become better versions of themselves. And you can contact us through the emails displayed on the screen. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was great. I have some additional questions for you that I think everybody would want to know. So first of all, could you give us a little more detailed example of how your services actually help clients? So you're brought in and you're trained on all of these types of services. And then when you connect with a business, exactly what is it you're doing for these people and how is it helping clients? Whoever wants to answer that question, feel free to step up.
Okay, Gifty here.
Hi, Gifty.
Hi. So there's one client that was disorganized with his tax, having a lot to do, but do not know which one to start and when to start it. So at the end of the day, he ended up not doing anything at all. So when he hired us, we were able to rearrange all his tasks with the most important ones to the least important ones. So now he knows what is ahead of him anytime he goes to the work. And also, we don't only help him get his official tax solved, we also helped him manage his personal tax as well. He now has a son who is sick, and they always have doctoring appointments, and at the end of the day, they end up missing most of them. So we also came up with a system that we update the appointments over there, and it notify him 30 minutes ahead of time so that he can also get into the hospital appointment on time. So now he's in control of everything of his life.
Wow, that
Thank
sounds
you.
really good.
I would like to add another. So we had a client who is a non-profit organization, and they deal in producing sanitary pads to people in Nepal who are in refugee camps and other parts of places where they couldn't have access to sanitary pad because they were in refugees. And this lady, because this is a non-profit organization, there are so many people on her board and so many things that she needs to get done. But she was so overwhelmed. She was so confused because everything was kept in her head. She didn't have record of anything of how she actually do those tasks. And because she got overwhelmed, she needed assistance. she didn't know where to start from. So that was where our core process came in. We interviewed her, we got to understand what her organization is about and the day-to-day activities that they have to do. We listed down all those projects that are involved in this organization and all the tasks that comes with these different projects. And with that too, there are several people that are assigned to different tasks. So with that, we had to serve as the accountability partner and also coordinate among her teams to make sure that everybody is delivering what they have to deliver on the right time. And because of that too, her board members were disorganized. So we had to create flowcharts identifying what each board member has to do and when they have to actually have board meetings. So we had to coordinate all of them at the same time to make sure that everything they are doing is on track. This is how we help this woman from being frustrated to now knowing that she has a help and she can focus on building the most important tasks of the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. That was a great example. I've also heard that there's different kinds of challenges that you've come across in your life prior to living in Ghana and needing to work with the US professional standard. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you've had in switching over from the life that you had to actually working in this line of business?
Thank you, Nancy. I'll take that. So, we faced several challenges here in Ghana before joining Theodora because we couldn't afford a conducive environment. The kind of places we stay are in the slum, a very noisy environment where your neighbors are always loud, music from neighbors, children playing and disturbing. Even marketplace is so close to our houses. And this won't give you that quiet space to focus and work remotely, which is not conducive. In Theodora, we work 4 days a week at the office, 1 day from home. And also, sometimes you might want to work on weekends, but all these challenges make it so difficult to focus on work when you are working from home. Good thing we have Theodora now. The money we receive puts us in a middle wage income, and this can help us to save enough to be able to move to a better place in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That was very helpful.
I would like
You all
to.
talk about a lot about transformation. Can you be a little more specific about that?
Thank you, Nancy. I will take that. The first time I stepped into the office as a trainee, the statement that was made was that you're no longer in Ghana, you're in the United States. I did not understand that statement at that time. I was confused because here I was in an office building in Accra, and you're telling me I'm in the United States. How is that possible? It didn't make sense. But it actually influenced my behavior. I was skeptical, but I felt like, okay, let's see what is happening. So it influenced my behavior and how I see things in general. Because as time goes on, I realized there were a lot of difference between us and the clients we work for. The way we speak, the cultural differences, and as it goes, at times my boss makes a joke, and most of the time, I really don't get it, but I just laugh my way through it. Because, okay, what is happening? So it's like you realize you learn every day because the way they see things, the way they talk, the way they pronounce things is different. So with that, I realized that, yes, it's true. What I was told the moment I got into this office was real. I'm not in Ghana. I had to learn to understand things and see things as from their own point of view. And that statement really affected the way I communicate and manage my time. Before Theodora, I myself and most of the ladies I believe did not really have a schedule to work with. since most of the time we had nothing to do in the morning. So we just sleep through the day. And even if we have things to do, since we do things at our own time, we keep postponing what to do. Since it's on my own time, I can decide to do it now or I can move it up until later. But working with Theodora in the American business world, we've all learned to manage our time and to cooperate with our client because the time difference is there and you have to be on time to meet with your clients to get work done and sent to them. So it's actually really improved our life and taught us how to work and communicate with people from different culture and different time zone. Theodora experience has greatly improved our lives and us as well. Thank you.
That was great to hear, Benedicta. That was really good. I have another question. So I know it's different in Ghana than it is in the United States. Can you tell us a little bit about the class difference and the hierarchy of attitudes in Ghana that you've experienced so that we can better understand what you're going through?
Yes, I'll take that. So, way back in 2019, I wasn't feeling well, so I visited one of our hospital. When I got there, I went there very early, but when it got to my time, I was being asked to sit back for someone else to come and sit in, a corporate person to come and sit in. So at the end of the day, they attended to everyone except me. So when they attended to me, it was late in the night. I just went back home. So this last year, November, I fell sick again and I returned to that same hospital. So when I got there, I was being led by the nurse to go to the doctor straight away to see the doctor. The doctor attended to me, and so whilst waiting, the doctor came out to go and see the pharmacist to tell them that I'm in a hurry to go to work, so they should attend. Back in the days, whilst I have nothing, I was on the street. Ghanaians do not see me. People in Ghana do not see me. But when I started working with Theodora, changes my appearance, the way I talk, being corporate person, they started showing me some kind of kindness and attending to me when it's needed as well. So dollar account created. When I went there, people there did not see me, and also the customer care did not even attend to me. I waited for 2 days, going back and forth at the hospital, the bank as well. Later on, they got to know that what do I do for a living that I have to create a dollar account. So I told them that I'm working with Theodora Ghana virtual assistant. Sadly, the customer care service started asking me, do you guys have vacancy? Can I come and work with you over there? Since you people are taking dollars, can I attend like work with you in the same office? And I said, no, we are not recruiting at the moment. She took my receipt and documents straight to the office to get it sorted out. The same bank that I've been there several times without them attending to me. All of a sudden, when they notice I'm working with American business people, they started showing me some kind of respect and attending to me as soon as I get to the bank. Anytime I get to the bank, to the extent that I have their number, if I need their service, I don't need to go to the bank. I just call them and they serve me straight away. So this is what we go through in Ghana here all the time.
I would
Wow.
like to add a little bit about that part. So some examples is also like an ordinary person, you go to a shop to buy something and they don't even care about you. But let's say you are even the first person that got there. But the moment somebody drive in with a car, they will attend to that person right away and leave you standing there. That shows how they don't care about you and how the class hierarchy really works, because they feel like, okay, you are nobody, you don't have anything. And even when you go out in public, because of the class, when they see you that, oh, this person, they will just calculate you right away from looking at you. So even without you speaking, somebody has already given you a class. So you can't even, they don't give you that opportunity to even express yourself for them to even know that. But then because you are working with Theodora now, we are always in official look and we are always with our laptop busy working. When people come around you and they see you, they give you that respect because you are working with Americans. And it's not like any kind of job you are doing, you are receiving dollars. That makes people start respecting you. And that is really a challenge because if not for Theodora, we wouldn't even be noticeable in the society. These are some of the challenges we have.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like the lifestyle that you have over there might be a little different than other people are used to, and it's nice to hear how far you've come and what Theodora Africa has been able to help you with. Another question: what kind of housing did all of you have before you came to Theodora, and how has that changed since you now have a job and are working with Theodora?
So I would take that. The kind of environment we used to stay, it's like the slums, very noisy and crowded area. Some of our places were so close to the market center, some of them very close to the roadside. When the the public transportation, when they are passing, we call them trotro. They really make noise because it's no man's land. I mean, they don't even know whether you are in your room doing a Zoom meeting or something like that. We used to work virtually when we started. And these are some of the reasons why we even had to get an office, because it was very distracting. When you are in your room doing Zoom meeting, there are noise everywhere. You can't even stop it. And because of some of the areas are really far away, like new sites, that's because that's what we can afford. The internet in those areas are really bad. And so it becomes very difficult to even work virtually. And these are some of the places that we were staying. So with Theodora now, we are able to receive enough salary that can save us to move to better places. And most of the first batch had really reached that level because we have been here for some time and we've been able to save money to move to a better location. Even though it's not the best location, it's like a step up from where we used to be. And I believe the second batch are also on their way to saving money to move to a better location. Thank you.
Excellent. And one other question. What is the attitude that you've found in Ghana regarding believing that things are going to work and you can succeed? Has that been helpful in pushing you forward, or has that been bringing you down? Does it make it more difficult? Who would like to take that question?
Okay, I will take this again. So with
Okay,
Ghana,
thanks, Mary.
the attitude we have here, it's really hard to believe things. And because we have been disappointed several times, especially right from when we started growing up. And so it's very hard to believe in something that will work in the future. Everybody is looking for what they can earn right away, what benefit they can get right away. Nobody have the time to wait for tomorrow or in the future before they can start getting benefits. So we becoming part of Theodora, which we are going to be the owners of the company, you have to put in the work. You have to switch yourself from that Ghana attitude and stay focused and believe that the energy and the work you are putting in, you are going to benefit it in the future. So because of this belief that we have that as we are putting in the work, this is going to be our own, that actually motivates us to be able to work towards it and get these benefits in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And I'd like to hear if someone else would like to answer this question. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges of daily life that makes it really difficult for you to pay attention to your work? I also heard something about a Ghana card, and I don't know what that is. And what about medical and other issues? What is it like living there? What has it been like for you living there?
Thank you. I'll take this. I'd like to
Thank you.
address few challenges we face in Ghana. Transporting. It takes 2 to 3 hours for me to get to the office and 3 to 4 hours back to the house due to traffic and bad road. I get scared most of the times because I might be robbed or raped, because when it gets dark, the youth in my area, most of them are unemployed, and what they do mostly is stealing, scamming, and sex work. So people get robbed. I have heard of it, and I'm always scared when I get to that point, especially when I'm getting home very late. Having a degree in Ghana, you won't get a job. Imagine someone who is not having a certificate to work. It causes all these things. An issue about the Ghana card, that's a citizenship card. At first, it was free when you want to go for it, but it got to a time we were asked to get it and link it to our documents so that everything will be on one document. Because of the long queues, people stay there 3 to 4 days, still won't get their Ghana card done. They need to pay. So whenever you go, you have to give someone some money to get it done faster. So imagine you are not working. As a youth, you are not working and you can't pay for the Ghana card to be done faster. It means your SIM is going to be disconnected. You can't go to the bank because you need that citizenship card to register your SIM and go to the bank with it to withdraw or deposit. You can't do any of this. And the medical issue, my son got sick some few weeks. We went to the hospital and there was this long queue, but it was few nurses that were there and the doctors were only 2. So it took hours for us to get to our time to meet the doctor. And when he was admitted to it, the drugs they needed for him to get well wasn't available. So we're directed to go to a different place to get drugs. And that's when I realized my meeting time was also up. So I was forced to use a friend's car as my office to attend that meeting because it was very important. So these are some of the things we are facing in Ghana because we don't have a lot of nurses at most of the clinics or hospitals and few doctors too. And the last one is light. We don't get information, most at times we don't get information that lights are going to be out for maybe hours or days before you realize your lights are out. So imagine you being home on a Friday, that's when we work remotely, and a Ghana holiday that we also work from home, and your lights are out. You are being forced to come to the office to come and work because you can't risk a client's job or a client's meeting or an important work you need to get done. Because we have a plant at the office, you need to get to the office or any other means to get the job done. I don't know if we have a tech person here. I would wish we get a power bank for laptops, just like we have for phones. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Wow, such challenges all of these women have really faced. And on the flip side of that, I would like to hear from each of you what being a part of Ghana, Theodora Africa how that has helped you, or how it has changed your life since you first heard about Theodora Africa. Sorry, I said that wrong. Since you first heard of Theodora Africa, how it has changed your life since you first came in contact with them to where you are today. And I'd love to hear each of you say just a little bit about that.
Well, let me go first for that. As for me personally, it has really, really, really changed me, because comparing where I was before, both physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and where I am right now in Theodora, there's a huge, huge difference, because there is a huge transformation on that. Because before Theodora, I realized that I had an ability that I didn't really know, because the environment I was didn't give me the opportunity for me to be able to bring out myself. But coming into Theodora, meeting all these beautiful ladies, that has become a family to me, and I've taken Theodora as a safe place to me, because I've been loved and redeemed and transformed. So it's been a very productive, educative journey for me personally, because it's a everyday learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. Who would like to take that question next?
I will go second. So I would
Okay.
say Theodora has really transformed my life. I'm so excited talking about this part. You know, before Theodora, when I was on the streets doing sex work, my confidence level was really low. I wouldn't even go in public, because I always avoided that question when somebody asks you, oh, so what do you do? Then I'm stunned. Like, I can't tell people I'm a sex worker and I don't have anything to say. So it really kept me indoors. I became introvert by force. And because of that, I didn't have friends. I didn't know how to even mingle with people. And that really was killing me inside. But when I joined Theodora, I was so proud that I have job, that when somebody asks me, oh, I'm a virtual assistant, and then they don't even understand, you have to explain further. And it gives me that confidence to actually talk more, because I feel like, well, I'm doing something very productive and I'm proud to tell people about it. And because we are all women coming from the same background, when we come together, we understand each other, because we know where each person have been through. We know what we are here to achieve. And we've come together to transform the lives of many, many women that we can. So we join hands together. We are a team. And even days that I don't come to the office, I feel like I'm missing them. I'm missing my team. So I will be rushing to come to the office all the time just to mingle with these ladies. It's been amazing, and I'm not willing to quit or anything that will stop this Theodora. I will not agree. Thank you.
That is so nice to hear, Mary. Oh, that's great. I haven't heard from the rest of you, so if you would just step up, please, and just give us a little bit about how it's made a difference for you. We'd love to hear it.
Okay, I'm next. I remember way back when I used to depend on people before I could have breakfast or maybe lunch for myself and the children. I depended on people to even get me a place to even lay my head. And with that, most of my relatives weren't respecting me, because anytime they see my call or my face, it means I'm going to ask them for money. But joining Theodora has really helped me, because I was very timid then, because whenever you try to say something or voice out, they'll be like, hey, what can you do? Just be quiet. But Theodora have made me someone proud that whenever I'm out there, I wish someone will ask me, what do you do, for me to tell them what I'm doing. And Theodora has helped me to bring my self-confidence out, because it's very hard for me to talk to people as I'm doing now. I can get whatever I want. I sometimes help people when they are in need. I can pay my kids' fees without asking anyone. I can buy clothes for myself. I can buy nice things for myself for me to know, okay, Theodora has gotten me to this far. Yes, that's what I'm proud of.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay.
So to myself,
Okay, Benedicta, are you next?
so this is Gifty.
Oh, hi, Gifty. Go ahead.
Hi. So to myself, looking way back, someone who does not know anything about computing, who couldn't even stand in front of people to talk, now here teaching people how to use computer, solving problem, helping clients get organized, whilst me myself back in the days I couldn't even organize myself. I'm so happy that learning from Theodora and being here has transformed me to this extent that even I've gone through different phases within Theodora, that I'm now the operation manager here. Before, I couldn't even afford to buy food for myself. Sometimes I have to just sleep late so that I can wake up late so that I don't starve myself. But now I just don't think about what I'll eat within the course of the day, because I have food stored in my house, and even to the extent I even dash some to people like myself back in the days as well. So Theodora Ghana have done a lot for me to this extent.
Thank you,
Um,
Gifty. Okay, now,
okay.
Benedicta, you are up.
Hi, thank you, Nancy. Actually, I remember having a conversation with a colleague of mine a couple of weeks back, and I was telling her a story of what happened to me a couple of years, about 2 or 3 years ago. I went out to get something from a store just next to me, and there were a couple of ladies sitting down there, and one of them asked me, "Hey, Benedicta, are you hungry or are you sick?" That's that statement really blew my mind. I was like, okay. She was like, I don't know, a couple of months you were looking better. And that was when I was at the last point. Like there was no food, there was no clothing, nothing. So I've been indoors for months. And that day I had a little something on me and I was going out to get some food stuff. And where I was buying the food stuff from, that was the statement the woman, the sales made, because she was there with her friends. She asked me if I was sick or I was hungry. I've never felt that humiliated in all of my life, because I felt like, wow, this is the lowest I can get to. But after Theodora, I can proudly say I walk into places and get things I need and things I want if I want to, because now I can afford it, and it's actually encouraged me and built my confidence, as my colleague has said. A couple of years back, I wouldn't even talk to anybody when I meet them on the way. I would keep my head low and just try not to make people talk to me, because if you talk to me, I would have to answer you. And I can't do that because I felt less. I felt as if I was lower than people around me. But today, since I have a work, I have a job, I have something I'm doing, I have income, I believe you're not better than me, because I can afford things I need. I do not have to wait for someone to get what I need. People don't look at me and tell me, hey, are you hungry or are you sick? That statement has been one of my driving force, because I felt so humiliated and I felt so down. I've never felt that bad in my life. And Theodora Africa has given me the courage, the confidence, and the hope for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benedicta. Anastasia, how about you?
Um, wow, it has been a huge transformation so far. Personally, looking at where I was coming from and where I am today, Theodora has really, really, really transformed me. Being here, it's like fighting those demons that is in you that is making you want to like step back and being afraid. You don't want to do something, but you really want to do it. So Theodora actually helped me to fight those demons and to be able to focus. And that is why we are here today. And I'm happy, I'm transformed, I'm happy. I'm I mean I'm at peace with myself, you know, and thank you.
Thanks, Anastasia. And as you can see, Theodora Africa has made an amazing difference in the lives of these women, young women, and we would love to be able to make a difference in a lot more lives. Next up, I'd just like to take a few minutes to introduce you to Michael Podolny. He's the CEO and founder of Theodora Africa. Michael, if I've butchered your name, please tell me. But if you'd like to just give us a wave and give us a few minutes, just a couple of minutes before we close, please speak up.
Sure. Thank you very much. Hearing these stories, you know, it's when you, I don't know how many in the audience are, you know, currently in Africa, you know, currently living there, have gone there and visited. I don't think most Americans can truly visualize. I mean, you hear these words of what they go through and but it's really hard to visualize just what that circumstance is. All right. And it's true that there's been a huge support system of people who've come to train and work, whatever. But, you know, there's a truism in all, you know, self-help. You can give all the help and advice you want to somebody, but if they don't want to take it, okay, nothing's going to happen. And they fight this cultural bias, let's call it, which says we don't believe things can work. Something's going to happen. The government's going to screw up. You know, we're going to have inflation. Something's going to happen, and it's going to go to heck. And so, you know, milk it for as long as you can. And we talk a lot about this. This type of transformational change doesn't happen easily. In fact, when we started this, we, you know, honestly, I think people originally gave us money just because people thought, oh, Michael's a nice guy, so we'll give him some money and he'll fail and then we'll go away. Because no one had done anything like this before. At least I've not been able to find any role models anywhere where we've taken people from the background that these ladies have come from and transformed them and had them develop skills. Gifty said it so beautifully, right? No computer skills at all. Now she's sitting there, you know, running Microsoft Teams, you know, holding, you know, everybody's tasks, daily meetings. I mean, in 2 years, 2.5 years, that's incredible. And it shows you the potential that's there. So we do ask you the very simple question, which is, if you have a need or you know someone who has a need, call Mary, send us an email, let us have a chance to help you. And in so doing, that's going to give us the resources to help others. This is not a charity. This is a business, but it's a business that can create incredible social change. I want to do a shout out just to a couple of people who are here who we would not be in this program without. So both Albert Agbemenu and Jonas Sayi, who are Rotarians at the Rotary Club of Accra Spintex, met me on my very first trip to Ghana. Equally had faith. We would absolutely not be there without him. And Anne Delane Clark, who was a colleague of mine in New Mexico, was one of our very first clients. We call them angel clients. Still works with us, still stuff. So I just want to make sure they get their due. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Michael. Sorry for the background noise. I just want to thank all of these amazing young ladies. Thank Michael for the great work that everyone's doing. I want to thank Mary Fiadessa, Mary Mensa.
Mary Fiadesse?
Yes, Michael.
Okay, so Anne, I just want to check who can hear. Anne, can you wave? Are you hearing everybody? Okay, so I think it's Nancy.
It's
All
from
right.
Nancy.
Yeah, this is from. So we only have 3 minutes left, so we're gonna have to improvise a closing. So Mary, do you want to close out our presentation?
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm leaving my email in the charts, and I've also added our website. Kindly reach out to us and we can have a deeper conversation. Thank you.
So we'll stay. I don't know how this works with the Woven site, but we could just leave the Zoom open if anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to ask.
Okay.
For about 5 minutes. No questions. Should we just take lunch orders? That's a joke insider joke when I come to Ghana. I'm sort of curious as how many people might have attending have had some experience in Africa, like Deborah and Lori.
Oh, Zuha lives in Africa, and he is asking, how is there any way we can help?
Well,
yeah.
I would say what we need to know is what somebody's personal skill set is, where we can look at that. We get help in a lot of different ways where people have different skills. Like, for example, Anastasia is working with a gentleman in the United States who's helping her through. And Anastasia, and can you explain that? The program marketing thing that you're doing with I forget his name.
That's Jeremy Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a digital marketing program that we're running with him. So he's taking us through. We had a meeting with him yesterday. We had a section, which is quite very interesting. So we're on it.
The point is, Jeremy came and said, "Hey, do you know about this market opportunity?" And we said, "No, don't know anything." He said, "Well, I'm willing
Yes.
to show you where to go to get YouTube trainings, whatever, and I'll coach you and I'll keep track of you." So we're slowly building up a capability because he was willing to put in the volunteer time. Anne
Yes.
Delane Clark is another example of this. So Anne works a lot with people who go through trauma, et cetera. You can hear from our team that they've had plenty of trauma in their life. So she volunteers her time once a week to talk to the team, talk to some of the people individually. So if we know what your skill sets are and we know what your capabilities are, we can look at the possibilities for volunteer assistance. And if you want to volunteer by referring clients, that's always the best.
Yes, Deborah also asked where we find information on volunteer opportunities. And I think, Michael, you answered that.
Right.
Deborah, you can reach us to me and we can have a deeper conversation. And I've seen your email in the chat, so I would reach out to you, then we can have a deeper conversation on how you can help us. Thank you.
Right. I'd also like to point out that Theodora Africa, which has formed Theodora Ghana Virtual Assistants, actually acts like a business incubator. That number of 25 million businesses with no employees. And if anybody is familiar with what's going on with demographics and employment in developed countries, there are huge, huge opportunities to do outsourcing. But it does take an understanding of cultural differences. That just putting your resume up on, Upwork or Fiverr isn't going to be enough to change the economic trajectory. But the model that we've developed is definitely replicable. And I think in other countries with other populations, disadvantaged populations, other types of markets. And I think this is a real roadmap because one of the significant aspects of this is from a Ghanaian perspective, that the money that is coming in to fund these ladies through the work they're doing, I'm not talking about the donations, I'm talking about the work they're doing, they're exporting. They're not taking money, they're not taking jobs away from other Ghanaians, right? They're creating whole new jobs with whole new income streams. So it has the potential for a very powerful economic development aspect for the country, let alone for the women. So if any of you, I noticed somebody in the chat was talking about that they were doing work in, had done work in Kenya. We are more than happy to share our experiences and the challenges that we've done, still working on in order to be able to create this. So Mary, we're 5 minutes over. We probably should shut the meeting down. Why don't you close it up?
I saw Nancy joined. I think she.
Well, we
has
should let Nancy.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, she joined, but she's not here again. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your time today. And we are looking forward to hearing from you with your support. Thank you. Bye.